Welcome back, and we are in lecture 3, section A of introduction. And in this lecture, we will be looking at the route map. As I said before, route map means that we'll have an overview of the whole training. What are the chapters in it, the sections in it, and how the course unfolds from introduction to the last chapter. All right. So the first thing that we are going to talk about in section A, now there are 11 sections here, section A to section K. So you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. All right. So, but I've named them alphabetically. So you have section A, in which we'll be talking about 3 open secrets of selling and more on sales. All right. So these are 3 open secrets, as the name implies. Everybody is aware of it, kind of at a subconscious level, but then there are very few people who actually apply these 3 open secrets. All right. And right in the beginning, I'm telling you this: if you are good at these 3 open secrets, you will make a breakthrough in selling. If you are not, no matter how much training you go through, no matter how much hard work you do, no matter how much of networking you do, nothing is gonna help you. Yeah, you need to understand this at a very, very core level, at a very deep level. You need to understand it. All right. So we'll be talking about that in the first section, and thereafter in the second section, which is section B, we'll look at preparing yourself to sell. And when I say preparing yourself to sell, is preparing kind of all aspects. For example, your mental state, your physical state, your spiritual state, you name it, all aspects. You need to get prepared to sell. You just can't walk out in the market and start selling if you don't have the right attitude, the right mindset. And this is so important. This is where people fail. They learn all the tricks of the trade, but they don't have the right mindset. They go into the market, and of course they can't sustain their effort. They come back with their tail between their legs, and everything is lost. So we need to have the right mindset, because I've seen people with the right mindset and they were not so good at selling, but they're doing very well because they could actually respond to their customers. They could interact with their customers at an emotional level, not just be logical or not just base their work on logic, but they had a relationship going with their customers. All right. So once we are prepared for selling, then of course the next section is we need to learn some selling concepts, because there are, shall we say, concepts like selling psychology, the customers, how they think, and how you can approach them, how you can reach them, what do they expect from you, how to present yourself, and all those kind of things. These are some selling concepts that we will be discussing. Without these, you will have to learn selling by being in the market and running into a wall all the time. It's a very long and difficult process. So you need to learn the selling concepts and selling skills. All right. Now, to do all that, that is to internalize section A, which is 3 open secrets of selling, and to prepare for selling and for managing the selling concepts and applying them, you need to know how to communicate with people. You need to know how to communicate with your customers. You need to know how to communicate with your people inside your company. You need to know how to communicate with third parties, your suppliers who help you to actually deliver the products and services to your customers. So you need to be able to communicate with everyone, and you need to be effective in the way you communicate. Now, this chapter is so big that we had to divide that into selling skills 1 and selling skills 2. All right. So as you can see there, selling skills 1 and 2. And then the next, once we have done that, then of course we focus. Now we are ready more or less, and we're going to focus on the market, on the customers. So the next step would be, logically speaking, where to find your customers, and not only how to find your customers, how to connect with them. All right. So things like, generating leads and connecting with them is what this chapter is going to be all about, section E. All right. Now, once we have done that, before we go out and meet the customers, we'll have to get into some organized way of working. So we need to look at planning and managing your territory. So we have section F, which is planning and territory management. All right. So now from section A, where we know the open secrets, to preparing yourself and selling concepts, to learning how to communicate, even communicate with yourself, finding your customers and connecting with them, and setting everything right, the getting organized to actually do battle kind of thing in the market. Now it's time that you face your customer face to face. So the next chapter would be meeting the client face to face. All right. What are the things that you need to do when you meet your clients face to face? All right. Now, once you've done that, that means you are in the market and you have started selling. Then, of course, the obviously next thing would be that you need to be more visible, and you need to leverage your effort in a way that while you are sleeping, the selling goes on. I'm afraid there is a siren behind. You need to forgive me for that. I can't help it. So just ignore it. Yeah. So you need to be more visible. That means when the customers want, you should come into their mind first of all. All right. And you should have an automated system. You should, with all the computers and gadgets and systems that we have in place now, that's not difficult. So you need to sort of put the systems in place. So even though you're sleeping, you are in the market in front of your customers. All right. So it's as if you're replicating yourself and doing shift duties. One of you is doing it from the morning hours, one is doing the afternoon, evening hours, and one is working throughout the night. There you are. Automate the system. That is one of the tricks. All right. And to do that, you will have to learn to manage your time. And managing time, basically, in one of my trainings, one of my students in time management class asked me once, and really took me off guard, and I just blurted out. He said to me, if I were to ask you in one word or one or two words, what is time management, what would you say to me? And all of a sudden that came, and everybody's looking at me. I got a little nervous, but then I blurted out. I said, well, time management is priority management. Time management is a misnomer, because everybody has the same amount of time in the day. Nobody has less time, nobody has more time. You can have less money, more money in your pocket, less power, more power in the position that you have. But time, no, that is equal. It's same for everybody. And how you manage it makes all the difference. So basically, you can't manage time. What you manage is how do you prioritize yourself. Right? So that's something very, very important you need to learn, because, as I said before, you have very limited resources and you're representing your company, your business in the market, and you have to do everything. Call the customer, make an appointment, go and see him, deliver. You have to, handle the complaints. You have to, everything that you have to do. You are the contact point. You are right in between your company and the customers in the market. There's a lot of pressure there. All right. So once you've done that, then of course we have more or less covered everything that needs to be done to get started. But then we need to learn how to de-stress. We need to learn how to unlearn and learn new things. We need to learn how to rejuvenate, and we need to be creative. All that comes under this chapter, which is sharpening your saw. All right. Now, I'll tell you a story when I come to this chapter later on in the lectures. Very interesting story if you haven't already heard it. And so you sharpen your saw. That means you become more effective. So you have better skills, you have better time management, you have better systems in place, and you come out with new ideas all the time. You can manage your stress, high stress levels that a salesperson has, and all those kind of things. You become a learner. You get rid of things that you don't want to, things that were useful before, but now the market has changed. They're no longer useful because you have evolved in the market. You've developed new connections and so forth. So, it's like managing the change for the better. All right. And you are sort of becoming more effective. All right. And then there is another section which I've added, and this has been added especially because some people in my class ask me, we have learned a lot from this training, but we are new to sales. We don't know where to start. And I can understand that, because when I first joined sales, I felt the same way. I was overwhelmed by so many things to do, and I didn't understand what to do first and how to go about it in an organized way. So this is a bonus section that I'm putting in, so you would know where do I start. And of course, this will have some recommended reading and some words of wisdom. So there you are. We have covered the whole of the overview or the route map of this training, and I'm sure you are, or you have better understanding, or you are more comfortable with what to expect that is coming in. All right. So in the next lecture, all right, we will now get in the course and we will discuss the 3 open secrets of selling and more on selling. Now, these 3 open secrets of selling is my favorite. I'm excited about it. And I can tell you, you are going to say, wow, that is so true. All right. So let's go there. And thank you so much for your attention. And I'll see you in the next lecture.